So today we're talking with Raj Sahoo with Real Broker. Raj is pioneering what I think is the next big opportunity for real estate agents on YouTube, and that is local home tour videos. And through his simple home tour videos, Raj has built a big business completely on autopilot around new construction in his area. And in this interview, Raj breaks down his entire business model. He goes over what equipment he uses, his filming and editing process, and what he thinks the best practices are around call to actions, thumbnails, and titles for his videos. You know, in 2020, we saw essentially a digital land grab by real estate agents trying to become the first local informational channel on YouTube about their area. And I predict that these local home tour channels, like what Raj is helping pioneer right now, is going to be the next digital land grab. And you still have an opportunity now to be the first local home tour channel in your area. Definitely an interview that you don't want to miss. Let's hop into it. So Raj, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, do you mind starting off telling us a little bit about some of the numbers around your channel? How many subscribers, how many views you have, how many leads do you get, and like how many closed transactions do you think you've gotten from your YouTube channel?
Sure. So in terms of numbers, I'm at over 7,000 subscribers, although I don't really pay attention too much to subs. It just kind of comes up on my channel, of course. Views
Right.
have been fluctuating quite a bit. So earlier this year, I was at about 200 to 300,000 views monthly. But the problem was I was showcasing homes that were getting views, but weren't converting enough leads. So my leads have been stable around 10 to 30 leads a month. And those are solid leads. I'm not talking about numbers that I call, nobody picks up, or I never connect. I mean, actual people who've reached out to me, they binge watch my content and are very comfortable with me on the first phone call. That stability of leads even continues, though, when I'm down to 60 to 100,000 views, but I'm posting more videos that I know convert well. So I've been trying to strike that balance throughout the year, and that's why it's been fluctuating quite a bit.
Right. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. So you're saying that there are some types of homes that get you a lot of views but don't necessarily get you a lot of leads. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What are those types of homes? And do you still think it's important to make videos like those?
Yes, 100%. So I think you have to look at videos like you're building out a marketing funnel, just like any other business
Mhm.
plan has. Top of funnel content is content that can be pushed out to thousands of viewers, potentially hundreds of thousands of viewers. And I think that content is important, but your more middle and bottom of funnel content is what's really going to convert leads. So let me give you a couple examples of both. My top of funnel content tends to be walkthroughs of homes that are just so over the top in terms of their design, in terms of their finishes. It's usually builder model homes where builders put a ton in upgrades in those homes. And they're just a model representation of a floor plan with a builder. And I tour them and I really spend a lot of time trying to attract a new viewer to my channel with those videos. So I don't really talk about my experience. I don't even introduce myself in the beginning. I think in my last video that has a few 100,000 views, I didn't even say my name until 3 minutes into the video. The reason why is nobody cares. When you're a new viewer on a channel, you don't care about the person, you care about the value that's being given to you. And for those homes, why they're top of funnel, why they can get pushed out, is I think the majority of people are watching them for entertainment purposes, meaning they have no intent of buying the home that's on your screen right now, but they're just watching, imagining themselves living in it or just watching an amazing home, which I think we've all done, right? And so that type of content gets new viewers to my channel. And then to convert them, my more middle of funnel content right now is going to be your empty home with a builder, but it's for sale. And that for sale buyer, I mean, if you're a viewer of a home and every room is empty and you're watching for 20 minutes, some guy like me talking through a video, you're probably a serious buyer. And those are the types of videos, middle of funnel content, where I do more storytelling. I talk about my experiences representing buyers with 19 different builders. I focus more of the audio, which is a voiceover on top of this video walkthrough. I focus more on like I'm talking to a friend, like I'm just showing a
Mhm.
home to one of my clients. And that call to action is much different too. And that's the difference between the two. It's basically a video I know is not going to go viral. It's not going to get pushed out to 100,000 people, but I'm going to convert more leads because a serious buyer like what you're seeing in front of you is going to watch this type of plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. It absolutely makes sense. And I think with real estate channels in general, like even when people have local channels, they often create really sensational videos that get lots of views. And that's really that top of funnel that you're talking about. And then your other stuff is really what converts those viewers into clients. I love that perspective on it, of looking at it like that. That's fantastic, man. And do you think is new construction really your bread and butter? Is that like the majority of the videos that you do?
It's been 100% of the clients that I've taken on over the last 2 years. So I haven't written a resale contract or even an offer in 2 years. I rarely ever show homes. If I do on the resale end, it's usually just to show why they should buy new construction. It's not like I'm forcing buyers to buy new construction. It's a majority of the content that I put out there. And I think the value proposition right now is very high with where interest rates are and how much builders can buy that rate down. Also,
Mhm.
the type of buyer that I do take on tends to be a forever home buyer. So they don't want to compromise on resales in various areas of the home. They'd rather build from scratch, pick all their options. Their amount of compromise is so much less.
I love that because new construction is so freaking easy. Like I would love it if all my clients were new construction. They're like some of the easiest clients to work with. Yeah, super cool.
I hear
Man.
you,
Tell me
Malcolm. Real quick on that, I haven't even hired a transaction coordinator. I had one last year, but I'm just uploading a new construction contract and buyer rep paperwork, and it's so easy with the app that we have and our online portal. So I just upload it, and that's the only paperwork I really ever have to take care of.
God, that's amazing. There's so many agents out there that are cold calling every day and like stressing out and putting themselves through a lot of stress. And like you've designed such an easy, like streamlined business here. You make content, you get new construction clients, you kind of upload they do the paperwork for you. I love that. This is like a dream, like model business that you've got for yourself right here. How often do you upload videos? Are you doing it weekly? Are you doing more than weekly?
Sure, I do twice a week. So I
Mhm.
try to habitually post on Wednesday and Saturday of every week. Now, if you look at my channel, I haven't posted in over a month, and that's because my wife and I just had a baby boy. And so I had this planned. I was going to get a bunch of video content and have it scheduled out. That's what we did with my daughter 2 years ago, where I had 90 days of content already scheduled out. For this one, I actually wanted to take a little bit of a break because I just hired a videographer and I haven't been featuring myself in videos for 2 years. And a big reason why is because I eventually wanted to hire a videographer where if I'm not in the video, I can just hire somebody to go through for me, take that video shot, and then I can just do my voiceover whenever I want. So that's what I've been working on for the last 3 weeks is working with that videographer. And I'll get back to posting this week, which is twice a week. I might up it to 3 times a week eventually. We'll see.
Yeah. Do you ever run out of homes for you to tour? Like if that happens, do you just start over again and redo the communities?
No, I have so many. I mean, look, we're in Austin, Texas, where a new construction is a big part of the real estate market here. So I have about 30 homes my videographer is tasked already to obtain the video footage for. Anytime I feel like I'm running out because we do so many model home tours, yes, we eventually do run out until more are built. I just email a lot of listing agents, connect with them, and ask if I can do a video of their listing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. You pretty much have unlimited content right there. If you can do anybody's listings, I love that, man. And tell me, what is your process? Like when you go to a house, I'm guessing, are you filming everything on your phone? Do you have like a camera stabilizer, like the Osmos gimbals or
Yes,
the
I do
DJI
have
gimbal?
the gimbal from DJI. I also have their drone. My videographer also has their bigger drone. And then I have a wide angle lens that I screw into my iPhone. And that's been very helpful. Just because if you go to
Mm,
0.5x on your iPhone, it tends to distort the image. And I don't think people like that quality. But if you use a wide angle lens, like you're seeing here, I can capture that entire living room that's actually 23 feet long. And I can do that because of just my iPhone shooting in 4K with a wide angle lens.
yeah, I love that. And about how long do you think it takes you to film one whole house?
I would say less than an hour if I'm doing
Mhm.
all the shots, but I'm not doing all the shots now. Usually I would just do one continuous shot. So it just depends on how big the home was. So that would take
Yeah.
me about 15 to 30 minutes. But usually if I'm taking intro shots, which I've never really been good at, everything's all done in under an hour, I would say.
Yeah, that's awesome. And are you doing the voiceover while you're walking through the house, or do you do that afterwards?
I do that afterwards. With model homes, they usually have music playing, so then I will get trademarked if I play that video. Also, there's people coming in and out. Those are open to the public, so that's always tough. I found though, if I force myself to do a voiceover after the fact, I memorize these plans. So when I consult with a client on what plans are best, I have everything up here because I've recorded a video of that floor plan. Then I've done a voiceover after the fact, and I can memorize every piece of that plan. And that just makes me more efficient when working with clients.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I bet it does. I love that, man. And what do you find is like the best call to action in your videos? Or do you put any call to actions in your videos?
I do, but I don't do it until I'm about 60 to 80% of the way into the video. And then maybe I do another one at the end. But the end of the video is a call to action to go to another video, which I think is the ultimate goal of every single video that I do. My call to action, it's a good question of how effective these are, because this is something I've been, doing some trial and error around. I found it really depends on the video that I'm doing. I'll tell you two examples. I did one the other day that was one of my clients' homes. So they just finished, and I had asked for permission to post their home on YouTube. Of course, they came from YouTube, so they were ecstatic. It's kind of surreal for them to reach out to a real estate YouTuber and then have their actual home that they built from scratch on YouTube. So I did a video of their home, and I talked about what we negotiated with the builder. Like, I got the builder to build a pergola in the backyard. And I did it in a way that was kind of joking. And I said, on this street of 25 homes, there's 2 homes that have pergolas built by the builder in the backyard. And those 2 homes happen to be both of my clients. So I think, when you work with somebody who knows what the builders will do for you, you tend to get more than your average home buyer. So that, Malcolm, is a call to action, but I'm kind of chuckling while I'm saying it. It's a little bit of a subtle brag, but it's more like storytelling more than anything else, right? I just move on after that. I don't say reach out to me. I don't say I'm the best. I just say something that was kind of like in a joking fashion, like sarcastic, like, yes, they got the 2 pergolas because they were represented by me, and I got that from the builder, right? Another call to action is just saying, look, accepting the fact that this can be daunting when you're building a home from scratch, right? There's all these options. Going to the design studio can be intimidating. And I do mention a bit of my tagline that I've represented buyers with 19 different builders. And so I know the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to building from scratch. And if you want what those pros and cons look like for each builder, each community, reach out to me. And that has been doing well, where I have clients repeat that back to me when they ask a question. They'll say, hey, I know you've represented buyers with 19 different builders. What do you think about this builder compared to these 2, or this community compared to that one? And that tells me that they were listening to that call to action. Another example that I can give, though, is just doing explanations of, like, I toured a custom home. So I explained the difference between a custom home and a production builder. And then in that explanation, I talk about, hey, I've worked with 17 different production builders. I've worked with a couple custom home builders, and here are the differences. So I'm educating people, but in a way, I'm showcasing my experience. And that in itself can be a great call to action, even though I'm not even saying to reach out to me. I'm just showcasing the experience that I've had. Does that make sense?
Right, 100%, man. No, I love that. I know Jeremy Knight talks about a lot of the same stuff, where his call to actions are much more subtle, but it's still like telling people, like, I'm a real estate agent. I work with clients. I love that approach to it. And tell me about your thumbnails. Your thumbnails obviously are really important on YouTube as well. What's your kind of philosophy with thumbnails? Are you taking these pictures, or are these just pictures off the builders' websites?
I'm taking these pictures. So when I mentioned I hired a videographer, I haven't posted a video with their work yet. That will be probably the next few months of content. But these are all pictures that I've done myself. And, my goal is to just make the home feel grand. Like, if you look at that inside a 6,000 square foot Toll Brothers home, that home was perched up. That's actually a resale home. And I reached out to the agent. I said, hey, this is going to be a great video, because I knew that home felt very grand looking up at it being built up. There are mistakes that I made. If you scroll up a little bit, there's a home that says view, and it's got an arrow pointed to the home. That thumbnail did not do really well, and I think it's because that home looks almost fake in the thumbnail. So you got to be careful when you light up grass like I do, which, grass pretty much died this past summer because we had a drought for 2 months. And then if you don't capture enough sunlight on the front of the home, you have to do a lot of editing. And when you over edit, you can pay the consequence of that, and it can perform poorly because it just looks like a fake home. So there are things that I do: increase color saturation, increase exposure, take out the shadows. I think basic things that I think just make the home pop more in these thumbnails.
Right. I'm guessing you replace all these clouds or all the skies, right?
Some of them, actually, that Perry home in the left side there, that's actually a real picture. The Grand Endeavor one's a real picture at the top. The top left's also a real picture. So sometimes I can capture it with beautiful clouds because we're in Texas. We got some beautiful skylines here. But yes, when I don't have that, I do try to get my editor to add some clouds.
Yeah, I love it, man. And what do you find is the best strategy when it comes to titles of your videos?
So this is where I've been more search driven, and I'm just keyword stuffing is what I would say. I don't know if that's going to be a best practice moving forward. I think there are better titles that I can do here, but I'm just trying to put in things that people Google. And I would say I see average results with those titles. I think I can work on this, and I do have a plan to do that over the next 90 days and try to get better.
Yeah, well, that kind of is a great segue. Where's most of your traffic coming from on YouTube? Is it browse? Is it search? Is it suggested videos?
It's browse and suggested. So that's where the majority of my views come from. After a video dies down, I'll still get, 20 to 80 views every 48 hours from Google search, which is pretty good. I mean, if they're Googling something and then finding my video, that's a pretty good viewer in terms of the probability of them reaching out to me as a good lead. But yeah, it's usually when the videos die down is when that Google search trickles back up to the top.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I love it, man. All right. If anybody wants to follow you, what's the best places for them to follow you?
So right now, my YouTube channel is the best place. So it's just my full name, Raj Sahoo. To be upfront with you, I'm not as active on Instagram or Facebook, something I'll probably work on. But check me out on YouTube and reach out if you need any help.
All right, Raj. I appreciate your time today, man. It's been great call.
Yeah, thanks, Malcolm.